projects for the year?
Hi, David. Yeah, as you know, as many of you on the call know, I am a stickler. I'm a bullet list person. I'm a list person in general. And at this point, you may be looking at your list of things that need to get done by the end of the year and just sort of holding your head in your hands. There are all these ongoing initiatives that you've been teeing up and working to get done that need to be done by the end of the year. It might be your account-based marketing implementation. It might be your new price book management strategies. It could be any number of things, but you've got these initiatives you've been working on and you've got a hard and fast deadline. You really are driving to get those done at the end of the year. At the same time, you probably have, because it's the end of the year, more and more requests that just keep getting piled in. All of a sudden, leadership is asking, can you help them prepare for the upcoming sales meeting or an upcoming board meeting? You need to start and probably even finish compliance-related activities like security audits and other kinds of audits. More and more gets piled in, and the deadline, the end of the year, stays fixed. So at this point, your temptation might be to say, well, we got to get everything done, so we're just going to dig in and get everything done. And my suggestion to you is actually to stop for a second, take a breath, and assess where you are. Do all of the things that are on your list absolutely need to be done by the end of the year? Or if you're sure you're not going to get them done, which ones can you delay until next year? It's much better to get the most important ones done than to get everything only partway done. So take a look at what projects you haven't completed yet, or you haven't even started yet. Take a look at the staff that you have, and keeping in mind that you've got PTO coming up. You've got people on your team who are going to be out. Can you count on those people being available to do the work to help you get through to the end of the year? Another question to look at as you're looking at closing out projects is, what dependencies do you have on other team members outside of your own team? If you are working on a new account-based marketing strategy, you need to be able to work with the people on your marketing team. Are they going to be around through the end of the year, or do they have PTO? So you have to look at all of these factors as you're trying to figure out what it is that you can get done at the end of the year. And one last thing to assess is, think back a year. A year ago, what new projects were people throwing on that were a surprise to you? They might have been a surprise last year, but they don't have to be a surprise this year. So all of this is regular project management work. David?
Yeah, I'm just wondering too, this year, it feels like within many organizations, people haven't been taking their PTO, and you almost wonder if there's an extra risk if an organization doesn't have sort of an unlimited PTO policy and they only have a limited carryover, if there is going to be a surprise of PTO requests right at the end of the year. I find myself already really pushing specific conversations and trying to get one CPQ project that we're trying to help define for a client. I think there are 10 people that are going to be on a scoping call, and really pushed more than I've ever pushed to just try to get the thing scheduled for the first week of December, because you know that everybody just scatters. So it's you wonder what the impact will be to the project lists.
Yeah, absolutely. During the normal course of the year, it may not be as important to keep track of when people are planning PTO. If you know a week or two ahead of time, you can usually work around it. But as you've got that hard and fast deadline at the end of the year, knowing in advance who's taking PTO through the end of the year could be really important to you. At OpFocus, we actually have a custom PTO object in our org, and we have a custom calendar page. And you go to the calendar page and it shows you who is going to be on PTO when, based on when they filed their request for PTO. Lots of different schemes for dealing with that. We found dealing with it right in Salesforce to be most helpful. The main do's and don'ts I have for closing out projects at the end of the year are, do assess what's on your team's list for the end of the year, and take the time to assess what you realistically know you can get done. Don't assume that the list is immutable. If the list is too large and you're at risk of not completing something, you need to do some triage, and you're much better off if you do that proactively rather than if you wait until the last minute and then have to disappoint someone. Better to disappoint them a little early. One other thing, and it's a good practice at any time, is as you and your team finish up projects by the end of the year, do take a few minutes to celebrate those milestones. and celebrate the people who made them happen. A little bit of internal PR like that can go miles with your own team, and it can go miles with the rest of the organization to help them understand what it is you've all been doing.